Let us pray to the sage Patanjali as we begin our learnings on the Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakarottam pravaram munina Patanjalim Pranjaliranatosmi. We bow down to the sage Patanjali who gave us the knowledge of yoga for the purification of the chitta, Ayurveda for purification of the body, and Sanskrit grammar for purification of speech. The first sutra of Patanjali's Yoga Sutra is Atha Yoganushasanam. Can anybody tell me the meaning? Akhila, what do you think is the meaning of this?
Now we can start learning of yoga.
My student Akhila says, now we can start the learning of yoga. Atha means now. So as discussed in the last class, now here when Patanjali says, it has a deep meaning. It just doesn't mean right now. It means that as a sadhaka, till now you have read many shastras, you have got knowledge from different kind of streams, you may have jnana, but now the time has ripened enough that you are ready or you have reached this state that you are interested in learning Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. Patanjali says that a desire to learn Patanjali Yoga Sutra itself is a state. Not any random person can, reach this state. So all of you who are here, who are interested in knowing about Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, it requires certain state of maturity. That maturity has come to you because you have already read many other shastras and now you have reached here. So therefore Patanjali says Atha is for the sadhaka. Now the journey begins for you in this direction. And so far you have been in a journey which has brought you till here. That is the meaning of Atha. Yog. Yog, the meaning will subsequently come. What yog is? Anushasanam. Generally, when we translate things from Sanskrit to English, we lose the essence. But if we keep it in Sanskrit and see that, okay, probably we don't understand the meaning, So then when you see Anushasanam has two things, Anu and Shasan. Shasan is to rule. Anu means to follow. Correct? So now the disciple has reached a state when he is ready to follow yoga or let yoga rule over the follower. So the second part of the sutra tells about the attitude that is required to study Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. This kind of attitude that let me add another armor to my knowledge skills, that let me learn these sutras also so that I can prove my knowledge and intelligence to the world, then you are doing shasana over yoga. You are using yoga for your ahamkara. Then this is not the correct attitude. You have to come to this shastra with reverence. So let yoga do the shasanam. So now you have reached this state, and with this you have developed curiosity to read Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, learn Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. As a sadhaka, come into it. Do not come into it as another master who wants to gain some more knowledge. Understand? This is what is Anushasanam. That I will allow yoga to rule over me and I will follow the path. Fine. Then comes the next sutra, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodaha. We had lot of discussion in the last class over it, and I think it needs little bit further more discussion. Before we go into the literal translation of the meaning, I would like to ask, would you Shreyas is a student of psychology also, and he's a MBBS doctor. Shreyas, what do you think is the meaning of this sutra, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodhaha? If we are able to understand this sutra, we will be able to put the whole Patanjali Yoga Sutra in a proper perspective. No? If we miss this sutra, then we will remain confused throughout. So I would like to request your opinion on this.
So there are multiple views regarding this. Literal translation could mean that there are certain vrittis and yoga is the cessation of those vrittis. Seeing from the side of psychology, it would be more appropriate to say that yoga is a way to regulate those vrittis.
Yoga is a way to regulate those vrittis. So the perspective that Shreyas wants to bring in is that rather than cessation, it is the regulation. So before we go into that, and people online also can unmute and share their views, first let us understand what these vrittis are, so that we understand whether what nirodhaha means. So there are 5 vrittis. According to Patanjali, pancha vrittis are there. Pramana, correct perception. Viparyaya, misconception. Vikalpa is fantasy, imagination without a substance. Nidra is sleep, deep sleep. Smriti is recalling certain events which have happened in the past as it is. Correct? Now, these are various domains in which the mind functions. In fact, when we assess mental health in psychiatry, we want to assess how is their memory in mental status examination. Do you not assess all these vrittis? You assess their current psychomotor activity, their speech, that is in pramana. Correct? If there is circumduction of the speech, if they are not reaching the title or topic that you are talking about, if it is not coherent, you will say that, okay, pramana is interrupted by viparyaya, vikalpa, delusions. No, in the thought process itself, you see that there are things which are not the fact, false, but firm beliefs. So there we see viparyaya, vikalpa component adding up. We also assess their sleep. We also assess their cognition, their ability to recall what did they eat in breakfast, what did they have for dinner, when is their long term, short term, recent memory. So assessing panchavrittis or these vrittis remaining in proper domain whenever they are required, you are able to use them, is a sign of good mental health. Whenever whichever vritti is required, if I am able to use it, and when it is not required, I am able to keep it aside. Now, when I am taking your class, when I am talking to you, if you are able to remain in pramana vritti as a student, that is good enough. But suddenly from pramana nidra vritti comes up, then it is a problem, because this is not the time for nidra. But in the night, when everybody is sleeping, you want to sleep, you want to get up fresh in the morning. At that time, if you are fresh awake, pramana, or you are into your vikalpa, then that is a difficult situation. So each vritti, if it comes up when it is required and goes away when it is not required, that is a sign of mental health or not? That is a sign of mental health or not?
Yes.
Anybody disagrees? Very simple, don't complicate it. Very simple. Layman ki tarah. When what is required, it comes up. When it is not required, it doesn't come up. Is it a sign of mental health or not?
Yes.
Yes, this is a sign of mental health. This is what all of us seek. Then Patanjali says, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. What is Patanjali telling? Patanjali is telling all these vrittis. See, vritti means what? Vritta means a circle or a cycle. So you can see all of these, do they not keep repeating throughout our life, throughout our day? We see cycles of them. Awareness goes, thankfully it again comes back. Imagination goes, it comes back. Sleep comes, again next evening it again comes back. Smritis also keep coming back. All of these vrittis are called as vrittis because they are the states of chitta which are repeating itself all the time, again and again, again and again, again and again. In fact, if you go into the finer aspect of the viparyaya, the kind of doubts, the kind of sandeha that we are having, they also have a pattern of repeating themselves. We have similar kind of doubts that keep coming. Our projections on the truth, our projections also keep repeating. Some people have this doubt, they think their partner is cheating on them. So partner may keep changing, but the vritti remains same. It just continues. So in the same way, whatever the mind projects, whatever is projected on the mind, it follows a cyclical pattern. Whatever in generalized anxiety disorder, there is, the objects are changing, but continuously there is one thing. No, I am fearful whether things will go wrong. We see in OCD also, from one thing they come out, another thing they catch up. So earlier OCD was with hand washing. After some time, one dog went nearby. I think the dog scratched me. I will develop rabies or I will develop HIV. So only the point is shifting, but again the doubting tendency of the mind over everything is same. So that we can say as viparyaya. Object may keep changing, but the patterns that are set in the psyche keep repeating itself. So if this is the understanding of mental health that we have, when a patient comes to us, we would say that patient is healthy if he shows all these vrittis and shows proper vritti at a proper time. If a patient comes to you and has one of these vrittis missing, will he be considered mentally healthy? If a patient comes to you and one of these vrittis is not there in his mental status examination or his long term, whatever examination history taking that you do, if you don't find one of these vrittis, would you consider that person healthy, mentally healthy? Shreyas says no. What do you say? These are all basic. This is very basic. It has to be there. Healthy. If one of them is not there, he will be healthy. Okay, if a person comes, he has only two vrittis, pramana, nidra. Gets up, remains in the present, sleeps. Ideally, our conception of a yogi is like that. Always in the present, perceiving things as they are, sleeping, dreamless sleep, gets up fresh, always. That is what we say, mindfulness, mindfulness. So if I have two vrittis, pramana, nidra, again pramana, only in these two vrittis I am rotating. Did Gautama the Buddha had only these vrittis? Okay. So my question to you is, if a person has only these two vrittis, pramana and nidra, is that person more healthy than the person having five vrittis or less healthy than the person having five vrittis? How many of you say less healthy? Raise your hand. Those not raising hand for anything will be asked to stand up and answer. And Tell me, how many of you tell that a person showing two vrittis, pramana and nidra only, is healthier than the person showing other five vrittis? Raise your hand. Very good.
Maybe the part of yoga.
Means yoga people are unhealthy now.
Beyond healthy.
Beyond healthy, beyond healthy doesn't mean unhealthy. Please. Beyond healthy, super healthy. So healthy comes in that. But I like it when you are able to raise your hand proudly because you stand with your view. Then only discussion can happen, no? Once again, how many of you say that a person with only two vrittis, pramana and nidra, is healthier than the five vrittis? Raise your hand. वहां भी ज्यादा लोग उठा रहे. 1 2 3 4 5 6. उधर पीछे दो चार लोगों ने नहीं उठाया, दोनों में भी हाथ नहीं उठाया है. आई विल सी. ओके, सो प्लीज give your justification. Depends on the extent. Avinash says depends on the extent. Mahadeshwari says yes, they are healthy. Smiling Shivani says yes and then no. Okay. First, I would ask Murugan to justify why. Sit, aram se talk. Yeah.
Sir, yoga is a view for the yoga is moksha pravartaka according to Ayurveda. So moksha is completely because Atma is a achetana one. Is only active in the presence of mind. So whenever the mind detached from the Atma, the state is called yoga. So the mind is equipped with these five karma, these five vrittis. The continuation of each event happens one by one because every vritti is having its own continuation, like a circle. So when these chitta vrittis are happening, it has a continuation. It again go janana and marana, and these cycles it is not a yoga. So by step, we can detach from the each vrittis. So it is the state of yoga. That is
so you mean to say that the person has continued the path of yoga and he has been able to detach from three vrittis, only two vrittis are remaining?
I think it is completely detachment of the chitta vrittis from the Atman.
That is what I am saying, that a person who has two vrittis as compared to a person who has five vrittis, who is more evolved?
Sir, two vrittis having more healthier than five vrittis.
Because he has been able to detach from at least three vrittis. Three vrittis, his Atma is separated from the mind. That is the state of yoga you are saying. It means the mind has separated from Atma and at least only two vrittis are remaining. Other two also he has to overcome and reach the state of yoga. So he is more evolved. You agree with him? He is very clear. Akhila is smiling. Akhila thinks...
These two vrittis also should be normal. It shouldn't be like, it should come when it's needed.
It is not like pramana is coming when everybody is sleeping and nidra is coming when everybody is awake. So these two vrittis, if they are in proper place, he is healthier. Okay, your point of view I heard. Now, people belonging to opposite category, these two, Ashish. Yes.
Sir, without Smriti, how Pramana will be possible?
Without Smriti, how is Pramana possible? Please elaborate.
Means, if I want to be aware, mindful, that memory should be there, no? It should be focused on something. You should feed some information to your brain that you're focusing on some object. So you will give instruct to your brain. Because of that memory, we can say like working memory. Then only you can focus. Right?
I am not saying that in the background he doesn't have memory. I am saying that he is always in Pramana Vritti, like you are in Pramana now. Do you mean to say that anybody who is in Pramana is automatically in Smriti? No. Smriti is in the background. But you are in Pramana. Like that, throughout the day, the person is in Pramana. Whatever is coming is going into his Smriti, but he is in Pramana.
So Smriti is there.
See, everything is there in Chitta. But he is functioning in only these two vrittis. You have seen a small child? Small child you have seen? Like say 1-year-old child. The child falls, cries loudly. Then you distract, next moment that fall memory is gone. It is not there in the child. You slap also, evening child smiles and comes back. So their smriti component is not coming. It doesn't mean that the child is mostly in pramana.
It won't repeat because it knows it will get slapped, the baby.
Yeah, but the baby is always in pramana, no? The baby, do you think a small baby, 1-year-old baby is thinking about future? No. Then at the same time, yesterday what happened, day before yesterday what happened? No. Whatever is there in front of it, it wants to catch and put in the mouth. The baby sleeps and gets up and is in pramana. Okay. Have you seen a 1-year-old baby? Apart from pramana and nidra, which other vritti do you see in them?
They are in the process of learning, no, sir. The memory will be there.
Memory is forming in the background as you keep moving in pramana. But for a 1-year baby, can you not see only these two vrittis? Do you see any other vritti apart from pramana and nidra?
There it becomes
Based on our observation, Aishwarya has put in a very beautiful point. She says, from a baby we have evolved into this. If you again want to go back to the baby state, it is a reverse evolution. So how can a baby be more evolved? Because baby is also at more risk, and many things are there. So that is what her point is. But his point is that the Atma, the mind has to detach itself. So ultimately, what he means to say is that when you say yoga is Chitta Vritti Nirodaha, in this state, in this particular state, what is happening to the Chitta? Does it mean that none of these vrittis are there? In Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha state, none of this is there? What is restraint? Chitta.
These are temporarily stopped at the state of yoga. After coming down from the state of yoga, person will be having mastery over these qualities, so that whenever he wants, he is not attached to them.
So very beautiful point. What he's saying is, like, I breathe in and breathe out, correct? But somewhere in between I can stop my breath. Shwasa prashwasa gatir vichedaha. Stop my breath, and that stoppage of my breath over and over, again and again, will give me mastery over my breath. So I can stop it whenever I want, I can start it whenever I want, I can stretch it as long as I want. So in that way, I am able to reach a state where I am able to temporarily stop all these vrittis. And that temporary stoppage, also people use another word as restrain, is the state of yoga. Stopping the breath, all of us can observe and feel. But how do you stop all these vrittis? Where do you go? Can anybody, even for a moment, stop all of them? Restrain, pramana also. Restrain, nidra, we can understand. Nidra, restrain. Mind is not thinking, I am not going in the past, I am not going in the future, I am in the present moment. How do you restrain pramana? Because pramana is also a vritti. At the most, I can come to pramana. Pramana is the most sattvic of all these vrittis. See, pramana is sattvic, viparya, vikalpa are rajasic, nidra and smriti are tamasic. So when Patanjali gives a sequence, Patanjali says that these are deeper and more severe vrittis. So Smriti and Nidra actually attach the mind to the Atma much more strongly than Viparyaya and Vikalpa. And Viparyaya and Vikalpa strongly attach the mind to the Atma than Pramana. So Pramana brings least attachment. You can come up to Pramana. I don't deny that all the mindfulness techniques that are able to bring you to the state of Pramana are good. Because from the more severe vrittis, you are coming to the less severe vritti. So ultimately, sattva enhancement has to take place. From tamas, you go to rajas. From rajas, you come to sattva. Sattva is getting enhanced. But too much attachment to pramana also is a problem. That is what happens with anxiety patients, no? Hypervigilance, very much aware of anything. Anywhere they go, they can observe things in minute details. If they are sitting in this class, they will know this person is wearing dress like this. They are in pramana only. Correct? But then in the night when they sleep also, any sound, anything, they can't sleep because they just can't withdraw their consciousness, which is in the moment moving out through the senses. So too much of pramana will lead to insomnia. That is also a problem. We get patients like that who have hyper pramana. Hypervigilance is seen in post-traumatic stress disorder also. Any sound generates little loud sound. So you can come up to pramana. And not in all the cases that you promote pramana vritti. There are many cases. In fact, most of the patients of anxiety who come to us, we promote nidra in them. We give them sleep capsule, we give them brahmari. Correct? So, in that way, if you say, then not everybody has to be brought to pramana. Though pramana is more sattvic, but here also you can get stuck. Now, how do you transcend pramana? If you are saying that yoga is chitta vritti nirodha, all other vrittis we can understand. You can maximally, in your effort, you can come up to pramana. How do you transcend pramana to reach a state of complete chitta vritti nirodha if it is a temporary strain and then gain mastery over them? As you said, can you answer this question?
Pratyahar.
That is why
Because
that's in the forthcoming shlokas, that is what he says, Abhyasa and Vairagya. So to overcome this, I think that is what Patanjali gives a technique of Abhyasa and Vairagya. How to transcend even all pramana.
So till pramana, we are using our intellect. That is our Vijnanamaya kosha. Even pramana, correct perception, what we are hearing, sound, light, everything, it goes through our intellect. So beyond pramana is bypassing our Vijnanamaya kosha or intellect. So we are perceiving our environment or whatever as it is without our intellect. So that it's bypassing pramana, going beyond that. That's what I.
Sir, in Pramana, the word meaning is correct perception. Sir, the ultimate aim of the yoga, it's moksha. We realize that we are his Atman, not the Indriya, not this body, not this mind. So we are the just an observer. We perceive the light when when we hold the dignity or the name, what we know, we just an observer, not the person. Not the person like I'm Murugan, I'm a doctor and I'm coming from this stage or I'm a Yuvavastha, I'm a Balyavastha, I'm a Yavanavastha. The correct perception is I'm just an observer. I'm not beyond this entity. I'm just an observer, and which is the broad observer means it spread all over this universe. I'm just an observer. That state, when slowly we regulate in that correct perception, beyond this body, I am just an observer of this universe. That transition state, when we start from the detaching from the each vritti, step by step, at last we in the correct perception. That correct perception is that I am the Parabrahma. And the Parabrahma is that I am just an observer, not this Indriya, not this body, not this mind. And this is the correct stage of, and this state is called the moksha, which is in at last Nirvikalpa Samadhi or Savikalpa Samadhi. When we want to come back to that stage, it's a
Savikalpa.
When we go this beyond, and when unite with the ultimate Parabrahma, it is a Nirvikalpa Samadhi. It's my opinion.
Everybody, please clap for Murugan. You are very spiritual, yeah, very, very nicely answered.
Sir, to say I am an observer, that's also in Vritti, na?
आशीष भाई के लिए भी clap. Yeah. So, people who are online who couldn't hear properly, one of our, Ayurveda JRs, he has answered that to transcend the present moment, the pramana, he says that you have to cultivate an observer within you. That observer which is beyond time. The body is changing, the thoughts are coming and going in the mind, but this observer within you, there is an entity within you which is always the same. When you close your eyes and sit for a while, again and again bring your mind inwards, you observe that when I was a small child, this fellow who is sitting now, one who is here and now, this fellow feels the same. Even if this body becomes completely old, this fellow inside me, somewhere deep inside me, a fellow is there who even watches my sleep. That fellow is same as it is. That being, that Atman, if you are able to touch or remain in that, you are transcending pramana also. That is what Murugan told us. That is probably we can call it as super mindfulness. Mindfulness is of the senses. Shreyas also correctly said that pratyahara comes as a point where you are able to close all the sense organs. So in pramana vritti, senses are open and always going out. This goes on till asana pranayama, but then when pratyahara comes, you close the senses. This closing down of the senses, but still remaining completely aware inside, remaining aware of your vritti of pramana also. That leads to transcendence. That is the state of yoga that can initially come temporarily as Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodaha, where in the state of samadhi, the observer himself dissolves. Tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. No, that is tadev artha matra nirbhasam swarupa shunyam iva samadhihi. And that state of samadhi where there is just a state of being, but the senses are there in the present moment. See, sometimes this happens within us also. We are in the present. We have first gathered our mind into the moment. We have left all the memories behind. We have left the future. We have left the nidra. We are here. Now, when we sit here, we start gathering our senses together and withdraw. After withdrawing, I go deeper and deeper within me because I know that whatever that comes and goes is not me. Neti neti. A jnani does this. Whatever that changes with time, whatever that comes and goes is not me. So he takes one step behind. Then he understands certain deeper feelings are coming, certain kind of bliss is coming. Then he says, this also comes and goes, this is not me. I take another one step behind. Going back to the very deepest recess of the mind, there is one entity there which is not changing. She is watching everything that changes. In that, with each breath, slowly, shane shane ruparamet buddhya dhruti grahitaya atma samstham manah kritva na kinchidapi chintayet. Shane, slowly, buddhya dhruti grahitaya, catches the mind with the buddhi, again and again brings it towards the Atman. Atma samstham manah kritva na kinchidapi chintayet, not allowing it to go anywhere else. Again and again into the Atman, again and again into the Atman, neti, not this. One pure being, because we are a combination of Prakriti and Purusha, so one essence of Purusha is always there. So from Prakriti, Vairagya, neti, Vairagya, and Abhyasa of holding on to the Purusha within me. With this Vairagya, Abhyasa, a jnani is able to satu dirghakala nairantarya satkara sevito drud bhumi. Slowly, his cognitive abilities become stronger, that nothing in the Prakriti is able to move him. He becomes equipoised within himself. That particular state which a Jnani reaches by neti, we can reach temporarily in very deep states of meditation. This is one way of transcending the pramana vritti. In that, when you are sitting, like that, when you have gone completely back and you are sitting, a person talking to you appears very far. A sound that is coming around you, it appears the sound is very far. Because you, inside you, have gone very much back. So it means you have distanced yourself from the pramana also. You have withdrawn. Vairagya, no, not this. So ability to let go and connect to the higher self. This is the Jnani's approach. There is another approach of transcending the vritti that a bhakta takes. How can a bhakta transcend pramana? Jnani's approach you understood. Abhyasa, vairagya. Patanjali also says, Abhyas vairagyabhyam tan nirodhaha. Correct? Then, how does a bhakta do that? This is Jnani's approach.
Ishwar Pranidhana.
Ishwar Pranidhana is another way. Can you tell me how does that happen?
Bhakti or in Devada Sankalpam. When the day by day, when we upasana like a murti, in the each day, in the way of Bhakti Yoga, we attain the qualities of that Devada. And slowly, at the stage where we realize what we upasana, that Devada, it's me. And that Aikya is the state of moksha, or that state we reach through other yoga marga is a type of bhakti yoga. In tantric way or in upasana or javakrama, some bija mantras or something like that. When we chant in akshara laksha, so it is three mantra or three bija akshara is there. In each bija akshara, it's having its own chakras or adhara chakras, and where in each day of upasana, we can follow the certain like yama and niyama and prana, like certain rituals. In each stage, we can slowly attain the closeness to that upasya devada. At last, we become that devada through which we realize that is the Parabrahma.
That's what they say, Tat Tvam Asi.
Tat Tvam Asi.
What we see, it is inside. Oh, sorry.
Please clap again for Murugan. Yeah.
One more thing, in Tamil, it is called Kadavul. Ul means inside. Kadavul means go inside. That is why Kada means go inside. That is why it is called Kadavul.
So in this Bhakti Marga, there is a Upasya Devata. That Devata is represented by a Nama and in a Rupa. So what I do? In my Pramana Vritti, my senses are always going out. And the senses are going in different directions in different Nama and Rupa. So first what I do is, rather than doing Pratyahara where I go within myself in Jnana Yoga, here I do external Pratyahara. From all different Nama and Rupa, I gather my senses to only one Nama and one Rupa. So, first I do Saguna Bhakti, where I feed my deity, I take Nama Japa, continuous Nama Japa of my deity, and I make my deity come alive. And initially I use all my senses concentrated on my deity. Next step, I gather all my bhavas, all my emotions. So my emotions are scattered. Lot of big chunk of my emotion goes towards my spouse. Correct? Another goes towards my child. Another goes towards my parents. So what a bhakta does, he starts seeing the same upasya devata in the child's heart, in the parent's heart, in the spouse's heart. Say my upasya only is around me. So initially he sees the upasya devata as a being who he is able to connect and establish a relationship. That there is Navadha Bhakti. There are different rasas through which they can connect. So in that there can be Maitri Bhava as a friend, or there can be Dasya Bhava, where you make the deity your boss. He is the only reporting boss, Narayana. Or you can come to Vatsalya Bhava, where the deity becomes your baby, like Yashoda had baby Krishna. Or Madhurya Bhava, which comes with Radha. He is Mere to Girdhar Gopal, Dusaro na koi. Jaake sir mor mukut, mero pati. So, I have only one husband, Gopal. That is Madhurya Bhava. We also see that there can be Sakha Bhava as Maitri Bhava, which the Gopalaka had towards Krishna. Depending on the kind of bhava that naturally comes to you, you establish a relationship with the deity. That relationship starts becoming deeper and deeper, and you gather your bhavas from all other directions in life that was spread and direct it towards only your deity. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhu cha sakha tvameva. Tvameva sarvam, tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. So this is a vairagya. So here also there is a vairagya happening, because the person is able to gather his bhava from different aspect of the life and direct it only towards the deity. And what is the abhyasa here? Abhyasa is the nama. With every breath, Ram, 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 Shiva, Shiva, Krishna, Devi, Murugan, whatever that name that connects to you, you keep repeating, keep repeating, keep repeating. You reach a state where your breath and nama become same. There is no difference. Now you are entering into within pramana. You have reached a state which is known as mantrakara vritti, bhagavatakara vritti. You have now gathered all the vrittis and put them into one state of vritti, which is in the pramana. That is, all the thoughts, all the emotions, everything, every moment leads you to your Ishtadevata. Now I am studying for my Ishtadevata. Now I am writing exam for this patient, my Ishtadevata has come, I have to serve. My husband is Ishtadevata, baby is Ishtadevata, parents are Ishtadevata. So slowly, he starts seeing only the Ishtadevata in everything. This tree is my Ishtadevata. The dog who has come is Ishtadevata, I have to feed. Nam Japa continues. Bhava gathered from all the relationships is poured only on the Ishtadevata. That rupa of the Ishtadevata starts entering the eyes, and only the eyes change. The nature of the eyes change. Then he reaches a state of Bhagavata Kara Vritti, Mantra Kara Vritti. You understand? In that state, he is able to transcend pramana.
We are like, if a sadhaka is able to see Devata Bhava in every person, he is doing Abhyasa. How is he developing Vairagya? He cannot develop, if I like one Ishta Devata, and if I'm channelizing every of my vritti, or if I
Into the Vishnu.
I'm doing Abhyasa. How am I developing Vairagya through that? Because Patanjali says both Abhyasa and Vairagya should be there. He says that when you do Abhyasa, you are like you are throwing out, your energy is moving outwards. So to make it go inward, you need to practice Vairagya. Abhyasa and Vairagya cannot go separate. It has to go hand in hand, he says. So how can I apply Vairagya here?
Very beautiful question. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, Mayeva mana adhatsva. your mind, give it to me. Mai buddhim niveshaya. Buddhi. Invest your buddhi only in me. It means whatever you are doing, you have to do it for me. Mayyeva mana adhatsva, mai buddhim niveshaya. Nivasishyasi mayyeva ata urdhvam na samshayah. If you are investing your mind, it means your bhava, manas, and your intellect in me, then you are rising up. There is no doubt about it. Here, the Vairagya is happening from different Nama and Rupa apart from the Ishtadevata. See, there are many Namas and many Rupas. But when I start seeing one Ishtadevata, I am using only one Nama and one Rupa in every. So, you see drama, no? Stage mein what happens? There is a favorite actor. Everybody likes that actor. My favorite actor is this fellow who worked in that movie Avesham. That he is my favorite actor. Now, when he comes, everybody claps. Barabar? We know the actor. Now, same actor in Pushpa 2, he became a villain. But I loved him there also. Correct? So we see, अरे यार ये मेरा प्यारा कृष्णा इस फॉर्म में आके ये ड्रामा कर रहा है, इसको मुझे पकड़ लिया, तेरे को पहचान लिया. I understood it is my favorite actor only coming in this form. So in that role also, in Ravana also, Rama only was acting. So if you are able to see that strength, that power, that valor that is coming even in a villain, is also coming from the same actor, same fellow. So if that same fellow is acting and I am in a movie able to recognize that this fellow is acting, then even in a negative role, when he puts a negative dialogue or does action or he kills the fellow behind, वो बंदूक चला देता है ऐसे, उसका सीट पीछे नहीं जाता है ना, तो पीछे नहीं जाता तो उसको मार देता है ऐसे, गोली मार. Then what do we do? All of us clap and we all laugh. Correct? Why? Why do we laugh? Because we know that the fellow who is acting, the fellow who is getting killed is same director movie. It is going. But for example, I take the movie very seriously. Then it will create a lot of distress in me. So a bhakta is able to see the director behind the movie. That's why he develops a kind of a vairagya. So the movie doesn't make him emotional. The movie doesn't make him go through different waves of, excitement and emotion. At the end of the movie, only one thing that bhakta develops is more deeper love towards the actor. So here, the vairagya is happening towards the seriousness of the movie itself and also other nama and rupa. And abhyasa is the prema only. Abhyasa is deeper and deeper love. Deeper and deeper love to the Ishtadevata as the nama continues, as connecting to. So, Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, Ananyas chintayanto mam. Ananya chintan means what? There is one chint. See, chitta has a very fundamental functioning of chintana. Can anybody tell me what does chintana mean? Chitta by its nature is vrittakar. It repeats. Whatever comes, it has to keep cycling it. In that, you can bring in the cycle of chintana. So, then what happens? All other vrittis are suppressed. Only chintana vritti continues. That chintana vritti is either the nama of the Ishtadevata. With nama, the bhava automatically attaches. The more nama japa you do, the more you connect, the nama becomes heavy and heavy with your bhava. So initially, from the, we can say, liking to the Ishtadevata, you go towards the bhakti. From bhakti, you go towards prema. You go higher and higher into that relationship. Ananya Chintan. Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ye Janaha Paryupasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshema Vahamyam. I will do yoga and kshema vahamyam. LIC policy. In LIC, this dialogue comes. Yoga kshemya vahamyam. What does it mean? Vahamyam means I will do, I promise. To do what? Yoga and kshema. What does yoga mean? No, in this sloka, it comes with a different meaning. Yoga means to be able to connect to the things that you want. You desire something, to be able to get what you want. I will make sure that you get what you want. Kshema. Protect what you have. These are only two stressors in life. Will I get what I want? What I have, whether it will be protected, I should not lose it. Vahamyaham. I take your charge. You don't have to worry. The creator of the whole universe. At the end of 15th chapter, say that from my one amsha only the whole universe has been created. Why are you worrying, Arjuna? He says, Vahamyaham, I will do it for you. But you have to fulfill two conditions. Ananya Chintan. What do you mean by Ananya Chintan? Chintana. Chintana is we contemplate, we think. Anya. Anya means other. An means no other. So your chintana should not have any other respite. You should not take any other shelter. You have to directly come to me. No bypassing, no via. Direct. Draupadi was very angry with Krishna. After that Chirharana episode, Draupadi didn't talk to him for 1.5 years. In Vanavasa, when Krishna came once, Draupadi's name was also Krishna. One of the name with people used to call. So then when Krishna approached her, she says, I don't want to talk to you. No more sakha, no more friendship now. Because friend in need is friend indeed. You came, but you came so late. My hair were pulled, half sari is open. Everywhere I am begging, being dragged from the stairs down. This much insult. If a friend can see silently for the friend, what kind of friend is he? I will not talk to you. I am very angry on you. If you were really a friend, you should have come as soon as this happened. Or you shouldn't have allowed this game only to happen. What? You are seeing tamasha, you are seeing drama there. This is what Draupadi tells Krishna. What did Krishna say? What does Krishna say?
At the last time.
I was within your heart.
Somewhere elsewhere and I'll come and help you. But I'm getting your chintana so that I could come and act immediately at that time.
So Krishna tells her, Draupadi, this whole creation, that has been created, human being has been given the freedom. Even I cannot interfere into an action of a human being if he doesn't invite me wholeheartedly. I can't take over. Because if I take over later on, human beings will say, why? Who called you? Unnecessarily you came in between. I was doing it, no? They say God also like that. Who called you? Without calling, why are you coming? In life, many a times we face this situation. We go and help somebody out of the way. At the end, that fellow says, who asked you to help me? They say like that. भगवान को भी नहीं छोड़ते. तो भगवान कहते हैं, जब तक कोई मुझे अनन्य चिंतन से, with अनन्य चिंतना, nobody calls me, I don't interfere. I have given freedom to you. Your husbands, when Lakshagraha happened, when everything happened, they were in trouble. They called me. I saved them. That wax house was burnt. I already created the way out. When Indraprastha, when everything became wonderful, Vishwakarma created Indraprastha, they started nicely settling down there. After that, they didn't remember me. Then Duryodhana, you should appreciate. When the game happened, he went to his Mamaji, Shakuni, asked his opinion, took his guidance. Then they decided, okay, call them here. And while playing game also, what did Duryodhana do? He didn't throw the pass. He asked, my Mamaji will do it. He had Daditi Rishi's bones. So he had this siddhi that he could, from that, he could play and bring whatever number that he wants. So Krishna trusted his Mamaji. No, Duryodhana trusted his Mamaji Shakuni. But these 5 fellows, Yudhishthir, what game Shakuni played? When they went to their place, they bitterly lost. It was a plan. Winning, winning, winning. At the last moment, they lost. So it boosted the ego of Yudhishthira. Yes. This is for every gambler, no? That is what the apps also do. When you are a beginner, they give you money. Once you get addicted, they start taking it back. All the apps also, they are programmed like that. Shakuni's brain. Any new app, gaming app you download, in the beginning you will win. After that, once you are addicted, they will take it. Shakuni played the same with Yudhishthira. When Yudhishthira won, then they said, okay, you come to our place, Hastinapur, there we'll play again. So he already overconfident, I won, can win. Without informing Krishna. No information, nothing, they all went. So your husbands didn't call me, no information. Duryodhana was with his Mamaji, but you forgot your... Then, when this was happening, I was so intent to come and help you. What did you do? First, you went to Arjuna, Bhima, Yudhishthira. Then, Bhishma Pitama, Dhritarashtra, Dronacharya, Kripacharya. There was no Ananyata. Anya. Then also, you didn't remember me. You didn't remember me then also. Then you thought everybody's head is down. Then you started using your hand, your teeth. She was holding the sari with her teeth. Then you realize this Hajar Bahu Dushasana, with one pull only, out. Hand, teeth, your own Bahubala. Then you thought it is also gone. Then with one hand sari, one hand up, you remembered me. And I really wanted to come. As soon as you left, this Ananyata came. Then I was there. I took Vastra Avatar. Sari never finished. This happened. Sari didn't finish. The whole universe would be full, but the sari won't finish. Ananyas chintayanto ma. I will not do it for everybody. If you believe in your karma, you are the doer. I have a very beautiful law of karma. Do, face consequences. There I will not cheat at all. But there is one exception. Ananyata. If it comes, then miracle happens. Then vahamyaham, aham. Ananyas chintayanto mam. This is the ananyata that God needs to interfere in your life. Otherwise, freedom has been given to you completely. Otherwise, if it is half-hearted ananyata, no. You will face consequences of your actions. And that way, if you are able to do, you do it. So, ananyashchintayanto mam ye janaha paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam. So, here a person, the Ishta, is able to connect to the Ishta Devata. He is able to connect to the Ishta Devata Nitya in everything that the person does. So that Ishtakara Vritti, Mantrakara Vritti becomes deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and he reaches a state where he is able to transcend Pramana because he has developed Vairagya to everything else in Pramana. Then what happens is, initially, Bhagavad Gita tells that, initially a Bhakta sees deity in everybody's heart. Then he sees everything in the deity. And then comes a state where he is able to see the deity residing in his own heart. And there naturally pratyahara happens. You close your eyes, it is playing in your heart. And here there is a difference. The deity is in a on the chitta. Everything else has gone. On the chitta, only thing that the chitta is able to reflect is the deity that is there. And here, desha bandha chittasya dharana. In that state of the deity residing in the heart, the chitta gets locked. This is known as saguna sakshatkar. Whichever is the deity, its form reveals in its transcendental reality in the heart of the bhakta. Like Arjuna had Vishwarupa Darshana, there is a darshana that happens in the heart. There the chitta gets locked. It doesn't go anywhere else apart from the deity. Desha bandha chittasya dhara. Then tatra pratyaya ekatanata dhyanam. On that only the chitta continuously keeps flowing and keeps connecting, and he starts dissolving into the feet of the deity with love. So here a bhakta is getting into a state of pratyahara, then dharana, then dhyana, and samadhi. This is another way in which Chitta Vritti Nirodha happens. So, Jnani's Chitta Vritti Nirodha and a Bhakta's Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Okay. So, we'll continue this discussion. Anybody, any other question you would want to discuss or share? Or people understood what yoga is? Yes.
Shlokas of Patanjali Yoga Sutra, he says regarding Sabija Samadhi and Nirbija Samadhi, where in Sabija Samadhi, like we stick on to Pancha Tanmatras or Pancha Mahabhutas, and once we even surpass that, Nirbija Samadhi comes. He says that. In Bhakti Yoga, you just said that the soul gets locked in the
Ishta Devata's Rupa.
Does it mean that we have to transcend that also, like when he says and Patanjali says about the Nirbija Samadhi?
That is what happened with Ramakrishna Paramhamsa. No, he got locked up in the Rupa of Kali within himself. Then he went to his guru Totapuri. You know about Totapuri. Totapuri told him, you have to go into a state of Advaita. Now when the Kali comes and dances, you take a sword and cut her. I can't do it. I love Ma. I can't do that. No, you have to do it to experience the complete Advaita. He was not doing well. He reached that state of Deshabandha Chittasya Dharana. Then Tatra Pratyaya Katanata Dhyanam Tadeva Artha Matra Nirbhasam Swarupa Shunyam. Kali was dancing. He can see, rejoice, that Teja, that valor of Kali. There came Totapuri. He took up a glass and made a mark on his forehead. Cut her. And Ramakrishna Paramahamsa cut. And he was for 3-4 days in complete nirbij, nirvikalpa samadhi. He realized that state of oneness. But when he came back, what did he say? He gave an example. There were 2 ants. Both ants went into a sugar godown. One ant went inside the sugar cubes, the godown where sugar is there, and it got mixed into the sugar, and then with the sugar the ant was also grinded and became a powder into the sugar. Now you can't make out where is ant, where is sugar. Ant became sugar. There was another ant. This ant didn't go right in the center there. This ant went on the side in the corner, sat there, and started sucking one after one cube of the sugar. So he says that I like to be the second ant. That has more rasa. I just want to remain on the side and keep sucking. I want this dveta, little bit of dveta, that prema, that bhava. I deliberately want it. Therefore, after Totapuri, after realizing Jnani Sthiti, he again says, no, I want my Kali back. Therefore, in his last breath also, his words were Kali Maha. He says, I don't want to become Kali. I want to remain on her feet. Don't want. Because then only I can appreciate the beauty of Kali. Mahakali, beyond time. Her Teja, her Rupa. So, you may reach a state of Kaivalya, but you have the freedom to come back and maintain the Dveta of a Bhakta. Bhakta actually is fearful of moksha. I don't want to dissolve. Otherwise, my Priyatama will be gone. I don't want to become one. That's why Bhakta is one step higher than Jnana. Okay? Thank you. Thank you, everybody. We'll meet again next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. See you next week.